Hey, welcome to our new hours here at AOPP for live broadcast. And I want to welcome all of you that are here joining me today. There is also, I just want to make sure I got my chat line opened up for people. Feel free to drop in a chat along the way. We've got a couple of things to go over today, so I'll just get right on it. Let's make sure I've got my system up. Yep, there we go. And let's see if I can get on to the next slide. Those of you have probably seen our little post that talks about coming in on doing Thursday live talks. And I think that we're going to give this a shot for the next couple of times. So feel free to lock this into your time slots, and we'll get going. And hi, Grogan. Welcome. Thanks for jumping on with us today. And what today is going to be about is the PEMF regulations, as far as what business owners need to know. And the key issue of what this whole blog post is about, and I'll post that in the comments also, and I'll have that at the bottom of the last slide here, so you can go read about it. This is just kind of a synopsis of it, but just some of the things that you need to know. And right off the bat, as far as the FDA regulations is, in the US, PEMF devices are considered medical devices and are regulated by the FDA when using on humans. And so what this means is that all manufacturers and distributors of PEMF devices, they're required to comply with FDA regulations. So when you're out shopping for a device, make sure that that's included, because you need to have FDA clearance or approval to enter in some of these areas where you're going to be working. And it's important to carefully review what their guidance is as far as being regulated to PEMF devices. So for you, it's, the more you know, the better. I don't know if some of you know this, but all manufacturers and distributors of PEMF devices in the United States, they're required to comply with FDA regulations, including obtaining FDA clearance or approval for their devices. There are a lot of devices that are out there. They're anything simple from a 9-volt battery to, plugging into the wall, and you've got 2 or 3 attachments that go with it. And so it's really important to know that you are working with companies that are aware of these things as well. If you're going to, again, move forward. And I think the way that regulations are going is they want to make sure that what you're using is safe. That's basically what it's all about. And so the companies that follow these guidelines are producing PEMF devices that are safe. Now, we also are the AOPP. We have 17 countries that we are affiliated with and working with, and that are members of our group. And so over in the European Union, PEMF devices are regulated by the CE marking system, and it ensures that products comply with safety, health, and environmental protection standards. And they obtain a CE mark, which is kind of similar to FDA, and must follow strict guidelines for product design and testing to ensure their products are safe and meet EU regulations. So that's the other thing to think about, is if you're going to be traveling outside the United States, or if you are setting up your business outside of that, including Canada, those are some of the things that we need to be aware of when putting these together. And then we're drilling down. We're going from national to state. So now states have regulations too. So that's the other things, the state that you're in, or the states that you're in, to learn what those are too. And some of them don't even have anything specific. When we started this process with PEMF, again, I called it the Wild Wild West. It was everything was okay. And then what happens is people look around and they start wanting to regulate things. And our goal with the AOPP was to be there at the beginning so that we could be a part of this process. And that's having your membership, having your support helps afford us the legal ability to go in and do these battles for you, especially on the state level. Now, while some states have no specific laws concerning PEMF therapy, others have strict regulations and guidelines that must be followed. And to legally operate a business that offers this therapy, it's important to review the state laws and obtain necessary permits or licenses before offering PEMF therapy. And again, this was kind of unheard of, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And some states are now requiring this only because there are veterinary boards, there is, orthopedic boards, chiropractic boards that they need to make sure that they're doing a CYA with allowing these things to happen. And so you might find that. And for you, it's really important to get to know a veterinarian or a chiropractor that can speak on your behalf. If the vet board decides that, PEMF should only be used by practitioners, which is between you and me, I guess that's everybody that's watching, it's a bogus claim because they really don't know what it's about. If they knew what it was about and that it's not an electrical system, it doesn't even have to touch the body. It's a magnetic system. People can feel it, but it's not shocking. It's not massaging. It's creating a pulse going through the body. And you can have, a 2-inch, half-inch air gap between the device, the accessory, and either the human or the animal, and it's still going to be felt. Whereas an electrical device, and we've always said this, an electrical device has to have some sort of a fluid contact medium attaching directly to the skin in order for that to go through and shock. And that's what a TENS unit is. It's an electrical current. Ultrasound, very similar. It's a high frequency crystal, but it needs to have a liquid medium. That's a total different realm. That's in the physical therapy realm, and those need to have guidelines because, yes, you can injure people with that. PEMF, on the other hand, it is not an electrical modality. And once that gets through the minds of the people that are writing these regulations, they'll understand that this is not anything like these other electrical therapy devices that are out there. So we talked about state regulation, and then there's event regulation. And some events have their own regulations and regarding allowed devices on the premise. So you can have FDA clearance, you can have state approval, you can have the vet board approval, and then the event itself might have a gatekeeper there, and they say, we are only allowing X, Y, and Z. So even though you've got the credentials, if you've gone through our program, you've got the certifications in human, small animal, equine, you can walk in with all of this. But if there's some sort of a regulatory gatekeeper that's preventing you from entering that arena, then that's the main thing that you need to check out. And we have places where you can go to check these out. And I'm looking at Manny. Does California have regulations that we're aware of? They change. And so out of the 50 states and the 18 countries, that's a great question. But definitely drop a line to Lauren at our group here. Hold on, let me throw that up there. That is a banner. There we go. That's our email information and our website where you can go and pop those questions. Again, when you're a member, you have access to any regulatory information that we have. We like to have links for that, or at least to teach you how to get to those links. That's the main thing. The other thing is to also check with the coordinator of these events and make sure PEMF is allowed, or if it isn't, help educate them on why it should be, so that you can be the one that also helps lift that up. So And I currently, in front of me, Manny, I don't have the link to throw at you. There is a lot of times if you just go to the um, like the veterinary board, you'll see what their information is on that. But I do know that California is pretty big on regulations, and I don't know that state well enough to answer that live. But yes, it's definitely something we can help you out with. We have also, and this kind of answers that question too, but the boards, massage therapy boards, chiropractic boards, horse racing commissions, racetrack rule commissions, thoroughbred societies, performance equine show rules, equine body work laws, livestock exhibition shows, and livestock care standards. They also may regulate the use of PEMF devices in animal therapy. From what we understand is that if it's your animal and you own it, when you're inside these areas, you're free to do whatever you want, with PEMF devices. But bringing somebody else in to do it, then that's where it crosses some kind of line. And they're rare, but those are the things we're hearing. So again, reach out to us. Check on your own too. Basically, if we can't find it, it's, if you find it, let us know too, because we're building our database based on our member searches too. So please give us any information that you have on that too. So understanding the and following the regulations surrounding PEMF therapy, it's crucial for businesses operating in this industry. And that's why we're also creating these blog posts. That's why we're doing these live broadcasts, because there's some of you watching this for the first time that didn't even know that we existed as far as the AOPP. And that's why we'd love to have you become a member and learn about all of these things, because we're an omni PEMF organization. We're international. And so our goal is to elevate, illuminate, unite everybody that's a PEMF user. But compliance with these regulations not only ensure that businesses are openly operating legally, but it also instills trust and confidence in clients that their health is a top priority. So if you can imagine walking into the room already knowing what is allowed, again, it's going to put you up that much higher in the organizations that you meet with. So you get to be the go-to person for getting in on these events. And as with any industry, it's important to stay up to date on any changes or updates to regulations and to consult with legal professionals as needed. So there's our blanket statement. You can find our blog on our website, PEMFprofessionals.com. On the menu, there's a little scroll down or menu. You can see blog. You go to that, and then it's the PEMF regulations, what business owners need to know. That's how you find it manually. You can use this link, and again, I'll post it in the comments. That way you can find it as well. And again, thanks for being part of our live stream, Thursday Live. And thank you for asking these questions. It's great. I love seeing everybody live here. And if we can make this a regular event, then this can also be kind of a Q&A where we can also jump in and answer any of your questions on the fly. But again, you can also use any of these means, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can ask your comments in there as well. Again, down on the bottom here, and we've got the email where you can ask your questions too. And with that, again, if you're not a member, it's a great time to join. We've got lots of things going on. We have, if you haven't been a part of it, we do a national conference where we bring in guest speakers and talk about everything PEMF, from small animals to large animals to humans to, what is the cutting edge tech that's going on in the PEMF world. And again, questions and tips. If you learn something, find out, hear about something, again, let us know, because we would love to take that information and then send it back out to the group. So with that, I want to thank each and every one of you that have joined me today for this live broadcast. And I look forward to talking with you again next week. So with that, take care. Have a great week.